Hey everybody, welcome back to another Friday with Dannphan. How's everybody doing? Let me get some music on in the background. Some By the Fireplace. Yeah, that's good stuff. Hopefully everybody is doing a-okay this fantastic Friday. Fantastic, get it? Anyway, another week has gone by. I haven't uploaded any videos. I'm sorry about that. I will upload more videos. I just didn't have enough time this week because some stuff came up, but it's fine. I recorded a video today actually before hopping onto this stream. That's gonna be a good video. That's a video that I've wanted to make for a long time actually. Just never got around to it because I was waiting for other stuff. But yeah, it's gonna be a video just kind of briefly going over the whole Wacom situation and why I will never be buying from Wacom again. So that should be fun. I thought it would especially be interesting to do that video like around now-ish because other people are currently trashing on Wacom for different reasons. So I thought, yeah, I should make my video trashing on Wacom. They screwed me out of they screwed Adam out of like $400. So let's go. Got him. Wacom? More like got him. God, I have the corniest jokes. Yeah, but today has been going pretty good so far. I gotta finish up a few, like 2 more pages, and then like fix something on one of the pages for the next Reaper preview. That's gonna be uploaded on Subscribestar this weekend, probably more like Sunday-ish. And then I'll probably try my best to also edit that video around this weekend. Have that up for next week. And then maybe I'll do more videos. Oh my god. The Dannphan channel all of a sudden getting more active? So crazy, huh? Yeah, Wacom Sock'em robots. Yeah, well, glad I'm not the only one making super corny jokes. I love the comic dub. Oh yeah, that's something that I also did with Adam this week. So I guess that counts as a video, although it was on a different channel, and I don't think I posted that to the community. I should have though, because that is something that I should do. There's like when you have too many accounts, meaning when you have more than 1 or 2 accounts, it gets a little bit hard to keep track of where you posted, where you didn't post, sharing everything. But yeah, I posted it on Twitter, funny enough. We did a brief little comic dub of Horizon Quest, so that was kind of fun. And that's on the Burning Star YouTube channel, which some of you might not even know exists. But it does exist! Hey, look at my related channels, you'll find it. Getting closer and closer to Valentine's Day. That should be fun. Already, I got like Adam's birthday present in the mail recently because his birthday comes up a little bit before Valentine's Day. It's the 29th. And we might actually be doing something for his birthday. Yeah. Friends might be coming over. That's fun. I really, really hope that that is what happens. I don't know if we'll all go out to dinner or something, but yeah. So, man, I do hope he likes his gift. If he doesn't, I still got Valentine's Day to make up for it. And there are a couple things I could get him for Valentine's. Could get him a belt. I could get him a cylindrical pillow. Yeah, the ideas, But, yeah. Another good thing that's coming up on Valentine's Day is we get to release the first 2 issues of the way long back, so that's a big deal, huh? Yeah. Here we go. I have a post that I can show you guys. For the way long back. A little love goes a long way. How far will these two go? Find out on the way long back. Coming to birdies.com is February 14th. You can also, of course, read the free preview. That's on the website now. Etc., etc. You really have VA chops, Trisha? Well, thank you. Although, I can't do that many voices. I mean, like, I did the Elanwi voice, and I was trying my best not to make her sound too much like Astrid. The first voice I did for her sounded too much like Astrid, so I had to, like, swap it out. So then I tried, like, a more breathy voice, like I see a lot of these anime voice actors doing. And that sounds, like, fine-ish. The main issue with doing that voice is that I don't have a very good mic for it, so you get a lot of noise, you know? And it's hard to really filter out that noise, so it's kind of hard to hear when you're doing that breathy type of voice acting, right? But I think reading a lot of these comics, doing these like comic reactions where I read and do all the voices, that has given me some like mild experience when it comes to doing different voices. Even before I did that, I could always do a great Daffy Duck impression. I know, random fun facts about Dannphan, the YouTuber. I just came back from my vacation in Florida. That sounds very fun, huh? I just saw this really cool French-Canadian band at Epcot that one day there even got their autographs. That's interesting. It's been a while since I've been to Disney World. The last time we were in Florida, I went to Universal, so... But that was fun, though, because I've never been to Universal before. I've barely been to Disney World. I was very young when I went there the first time. But, you know, it's nice to try some new things every now and then. And Universal was very new. I actually do want to eventually go back there to check out Epic Universe when that's finished. And, do that. So, anime news, right? Actually, like, part of the reason why I'm in a better mood before doing this stream, not because I'm highly caffeinated, I'm actually going on a lower caffeine dose today, but it's actually because we were just rewatching some Frieren. Good shit. That, like, one 4-parter, like, episode where they go to the town and the demons are there, that's so good. So good. If they, like, just took those episodes and put it all together in a movie, I would rewatch that so many times. Like I am doing today. Just rewatching it because I love it so much. Ah, man. I'm pretty sure I got that arc manga somewhere. I think that's number 2, is it? Or is it number 3? I have one book that I display here, and then I have one kind of tucked away over there in my stack of books where I can't put them anywhere, but I think I do have the manga version of that arc. It's so good. It's so good at doing everything that show was trying to do. I really hope we get back to more demon killing in the series. And it looks like we are. It looks like that's where the manga series is going back to its roots of where it was, like, peak. I still think that arc is peak. Even after, like, reading through the entire manga series, I still think that arc is probably peak for that series. It's gotta be my favorite. The whole, like, Midas Gold City thing was, like, fine. That was good. That's probably, like, my second favorite, right? But it's just not as good as the city. That was solid. But yeah, that's it. So that's what I was doing. Now I'm in a better mood because I watched my dose of Frieren, and that always puts me in a good mood. I gotta get more of the manga. At some point, I wanted to get a free run figure behind me. They have one that they're pre-ordering, but they're only showing like the 3D model of what it's going to look like when it's made. And that's fine, but it doesn't look as good as like actually looking at the figure naturally. There's also a figure of Marcel that's like on pre-order, or is it on sale? They actually let you look at what the figure's gonna look like for that one. For the free run one, it's just the 3D model, which is kind of a bummer. But it looks like a more decent figure than the ones that are already released, so I might pre-order it. But yeah, I do also like Marcel from Delicious in Dungeon, if you guys have seen that. It's kind of, well, the English release is new. They like just dubbed it recently. That's on Netflix. One of the few anime on Netflix that's good. At the risk of like starting a fire in the chat, yeah, I think most anime on Netflix is not good, but Delicious in Dungeon is one of the good ones for sure. Yeah, it's a good Trigger anime. Trigger is pretty solid as far as an animation studio goes, and yeah, I enjoyed the first couple episodes that I watched. I was gonna buy the manga at one point for Delicious in Dungeon. And then, like, I ended up giving it to a friend instead for them to get. Because there was only, like, volume 1, and I was like, oh, I'm gonna get this. But then they were like, oh, I'm interested in that. And I was like, oh, then you should get it, right? So, I'll probably just order it online. You can just, like, they should have a box set, right? Then again, it's so hard to find box sets of manga these days. So frustrating. But yeah, I like Delicious in Dungeon as well. That's been pretty good. But yeah. For a while, I've been working on a pitch for an animated series for a family audience, but I'm feeling discouraged as of late. Well, sorry to hear that. I'm always all for, like, family audience-oriented stuff, because I find this, like, really frustrating trend of late, where a show is only made for kids when it's written badly. You know what I mean? Whenever, like, I criticize a show for being written badly, it's just like, well, it's for kids. It's not for you. It's for little itty-bitty babies, so therefore you can't criticize it. And it's not true, but that's the way that people treat everything these days. It's like, oh, well, it's written badly because it's for a younger audience, therefore you can't criticize it. It's like, go fuck yourself. I will give some passes for something being written for kids. Not everything. Not everything. I think you should strive to make anything you're working on written well. So that way it stays timeless, and that not only kids can enjoy it, but everyone can enjoy it, you know? Let me see. Is anyone here aware of that 50K Has-Been Hotel animation that's been spread around the net? Given your awkwardness when you say that comment, I assume that you're talking about, like, the not safe for work animation that was spread around the net? Because yes, that ended up on my Twitter feed somehow. But yeah, Has-Been Hotel also released their first official episode now for, like, Amazon. I didn't watch it, but I don't know. Maybe it's good. I don't know. Hell of a Boss apparently is also getting its own show. So, like, good for them. Good for indie animation, I guess. Part of me thinks that indie animators who are, like, doing these pilots on YouTube to, like, sell their show or get an audience, what if they all just came together and created their own, like, studio or their own streaming service? You know, wouldn't that be, like, better? But I guess a lot of people have difficulty just coming together or working together on something. So, I don't know, maybe it's a dumb idea. but I would like to support indie creators more directly than just going with some super big company that's just distributing what they're creating, you know? You know. Not gonna lie, that 50k stuff is something I'd really want to get, but not give out. Especially with all the latest animation news, what with the layoffs and bad press and whatnot. Yeah. It's, not good. The 50k isn't even really that many views, but I don't know. I would personally love to get some attention on some of my comics that I'm working on, because, you know, I might not have time to do a full animated pilot, but, yeah, series I'm working on, they got potential, right? I've done, like, little animated shorts for some stuff, so that's something. And I want to do more, like, comic dubs and trailers and stuff like that. I think every comic series that I have on the website should have a trailer for it, just to help, like, kind of spread news and make it more distinct, you know? But yeah, never know if a Burning Star comic gets an animated short. Well, they're all on the Burning Star channel. So that's another thing. Not everybody who's subscribed to me on here is also subscribed on the Burning Star channel, which is supposed to be a more official version. But of course I do most of, like, the actual news on here because this is the only place where people listen. This is the only place where people tune in. This was originally just supposed to be like a blog channel where I just, like, talk opinion type stuff. And then the Burning Star channel was supposed to be like business type stuff relating to actually Burning Star comics. But yeah, did see that comic dub you did for Horizon Quest. It was nice. Thank you. Glad you enjoyed it. Yeah, there's a couple shorts for, like, Ellie the Eliminator mostly. There was also an animated trailer that I'm working on, or well, that's kind of done already, but waiting for the campaign to officially go live to release that trailer, because it's for Sonic City Witch, and I might as well have it be the campaign trailer for Sonic City Witch. But yeah, that's animated, so that'll be fun. Yeah. I was planning on doing something kind of similar for Reaper, but maybe not have it nearly as animated as some of the other shorts. Something a little bit more simpler, because Reaper is a lot more detailed and probably would take a while to fully animate something. But I could do some, like, minor animation stuff for, like, a comic dub, you know what I mean? Yeah. I just recently got this new video editor that I'm going to be testing out soon. I want to see if this one is better. I mean, I hope it's better than Clipchamp. Clipchamp is awful. 0 out of 10, would not recommend. You have to be online to use it, which is already a huge red flag. I hate that you have to be online to use Clip Studio now, because that is... yeah, that's no good. For that reason alone, I want to downgrade Clip Studio so that I can undo whatever that update did to it. But yeah, no good, no good. Sorry if I'm touching my lips every now and then. It's actually because I'm, you know, middle of the winter, you start getting dry skin. I got really bad dry skin on my face at the beginning of this week, and I ended up chapping my lips on the corners, so they actually kind of hurt right now. I guess because I'm just talking a lot, and I'm splitting them open, which sounds disgusting. They're not so chapped that you can see them on camera unless I, like, zoomed in, but yeah, dry skin fucking sucks. It's awful. 18 minutes behind. Guess it's time to unleash the 2x. Oh yeah, the 2 times speed. Trisha, what's your opinion on AI art for casual use? I guess it depends what you define as casual use. There's a lot of moving parts to AI art. I do know some people who use it for like YouTube thumbnails. Sometimes that's like fine, I guess. Although they create the most ugly YouTube thumbnails for like some of them. Like I've been seeing Clownfish TV use almost exclusively AI art for a lot of their new YouTube thumbnails, and they look so uncanny and weird. Not that their previous thumbnails looked that much better, but you know, not a fan of that. But I also know a good friend who uses AI art for YouTube thumbnails for his like RPG, or not really RPG. What is it? What is those games called? They're like battle simulators or war simulators or... God, what are those games called? I can't... You know the ones that I mean, though, by just me saying that. He's doing a campaign like that for his channel. And he uses AI art because he's using fantasy countries. Yeah, war games, right? He's using fantasy countries that, like, don't really have real flags, so or real cultures, so he's just like kind of using AI art to come up with that for his thumbnails, just to put like some visuals behind it, even though it's all fantasy. So I kind of get it. I mean, like, yeah, I still hold firm on the opinion that AI art is kind of a fad. They want to try to make money off of it. And the reason why so many people are using it right now is because it's free. So when you have to start paying like a subscription fee to use this AI art generator, and most of the art that it's generating is unusable, then you're gonna start feeling a little bit gypped, you know? So because you could end up like spending more than it would be to just hire an actual artist to get it right the first time. When you're just generating art for like months and months without getting something usable. So, but it also depends on how much they're gonna be charging for the subscription. So some generators are already charging for this subscription, and some are working their way up to just being subscription use, nobody else can use it type thing. And then of course there's all the laws surrounding it that are kind of an issue. Because if they don't allow AI art to use copyrighted art, there's essentially no way that they can make it work. Because there's just like not enough copyright-free art on the internet to make it work the way that it's intended. Unless they get like some pictures, I guess. Some copyright-free pictures or royalty-free stuff like that. So, you know, it's whatever. I don't think it's gonna really last that long because it just doesn't have the bones to work for an extended period of time. But it's exploding right now because it's just like very easy to use for free. And that's the reason why we see it everywhere. It's because anyone can just use it. But as soon as that is not the case anymore, as soon as you have to start paying for a lofty subscription, it becomes a little bit more complicated when it comes to actually using it. So, yeah. I guess enjoy it while you can, in that regard. That's my prediction anyway. I'm not gonna say that everything I say is true, but that's kind of my take on it. I don't really like AI art. I don't really think it looks good. It looks very uncanny for me. I'd rather hire a real artist, and that's what I do. I hire artists. I've never used a piece of AI art for any of my comics or anything. And I don't really see a need to, because I think it would just devalue the quality of them. But yeah. Oh wow, I'm number 4 on your top favorite YouTubers? That's awesome, thank you. I don't know who these other guys are, but I'm sure that they're also awesome. Anyways, what else do we got to look forward to? I hear you asking in the distance. Well, we also have the Reaper Book 1 campaign. Wow! Coming up March 1st. Oh, you know what? We got the 3D printer working again. That is actually a huge deal. You have no idea. We were at... Let me pull this out. It's a little bit covered in dust, but it's okay. Jeez, I just fucking blasted dust in my face. Right, so we wanted to create like castle models for the Reaper campaign and then 3D print them, sell those off to people. This is not the castle in Reaper, but it is very similar because it's on like the fucking mountain slope. I had another 3D model made. I should have just, no, now that I think about it, I should have just copy and pasted this castle into the comic because this is royalty free. So I could have just made this the castle for the comic. I didn't. I drew the castle from scratch for Reaper Book 1, and then I hired another 3D model artist to create a 3D model of the castle that I drew. They did okay. It was a little bit janky, and it's not printing very well when it comes to actually like printing a 3D statue, I guess, of it. But I wanted to have like those printed out for the campaign and have those be like the highest tier. You get like to actually own the cursed castle from Reaper Book 1, the cursed castle, as the subtitle says, you know? That would have been awesome. But that, it doesn't look like... I don't know if that's actually gonna work out. Another thing we have planned for the campaign is bookmarks, sword bookmarks. So like, there's a sword that is actually what is causing the curse in the castle. So really it's the cursed sword, but I digress. So we're gonna have bookmarks 3D printed to look like the sword from the book, and that will also be fun. That's a nice way to save your spot in the book as you're reading it. But yes, excited for that. I'll still try to make the actual 3D printed castle work. I want to try to make it work. If anyone knows about making 3D models for printing on a 3D printer, please message me if you have any advice for me to how we can make it print right, to how we can make it work. I'll send you one for free if you can actually help us with it. We're not 3D modelists ourselves. We don't know really what we're doing. The 3D model that we have is a little bit janky. We just want it to print right and look nice, and we don't really know what we're doing. So you can consider this like a casting call. If anyone is a genius when it comes to making 3D models printable, please do contact us. Because that's the thing about 3D printing. We don't have like a multi-extruder or anything. So everything needs to, like, if it's going up, it needs to be printed up on a slant, otherwise it's not going to print. You can't have overhang on... Nobody knows what I'm talking about. Just... If you know anything about 3D printing, you know what I'm talking about, but yeah, you can't have overhang on any 3D models, and like the thinner it is, the more difficult it is going to be to print it. So you have like these super thin, like, castle points, the points on the top of the tower, those aren't really printing very well, and so like Adam's solution is just cut off the tops of the towers, and I'm like, no! It's a fucking tower! It's got a point! We need the points! So, anyway, we need help, clearly. Do you make a decent income from your work now compared to before? It's more than before, I suppose. I wouldn't call it a decent income. I mean, most of my income is still coming from my other job. Or other jobs. I do so many different things. The comic stuff is what I want to make my main source of income. It's what I'm most passionate about doing. I desperately want to make it a career. If like comic stuff or animated stuff, those are my things. If we had an American version of an anime industry, like if we had studios making animated shows actively for teenagers and adults, that's what I would want to be into. I would be like throwing out Reaper and submitting that and being like, hey, you can make this into an animated series. You'll help me sell the comics, and I'll help you sell the show. Cross promotion. That's what the anime and manga industry do. They do the cross promotion thing, where like the anime works on the TV show, the manga works on the story, and the books. They sell the books. And they cross sell each other. You know. And then there's also the merch that comes once you create a very popular series. We don't really have that in America the same way that Japan has that. I really want it, though. I want it. Which goes back to what I was saying about, like, these indie animators out there. If only we could get all the indie animators on YouTube, have them all come together, and just make a company. Just... I don't have, like, the means to do it myself, but if I had $1 million, that's where it would be invested. Hands down. But, you know, you're making a point about points. Oh yeah, you need the points on the top of the tower. Otherwise, they're not a tower. They're just a cylinder. It's true. Yeah. 2 things to look forward to this March. Reaper campaign and Rise of Ronin. Hell yeah, man. Hell yeah, man. Fucking, I hope you really enjoy Reaper. I've got like 42 pages left to draw. That's not even including like the extra pages that I wanted to do for it. I also wanted to do some promotional art for it. I think once I'm done like the next couple pages, I'll stop and work on the promotional art. Sorry. I didn't bring any water with me upstairs. Because I'm an idiot. And that's what I do. That's what I do. I'm just a big stupid. I should have, though. You never will, because in America it's too corporatalized. That is a shame. Yeah. It's really hard to be someone who's really passionate about... because I see this big gap in the industries in America, stuff that we don't have that we should have, right? We should have like our own cartoon shows based on comics, independent comics, the same way that America has, where it's cross-promoting each other, right? DC did it for a long time, where they would have shows based on the comics, and they kinda cross-promoted, but not nearly as much as anime and manga does it. And it's also very strict to the DC universe, which is constantly changing. With manga, it's a little bit different, because everything is independent, its own thing, its own show, its own universe. And there's so much variety of it. You know, if you don't like superheroes, there's another anime of slice of life stuff, of romance stuff, of fantasy stuff, etc., etc. There's more to enjoy. But yeah. We should have it. We should have something of an industry like that here. It's part of the reason why comics don't do as well in America as they do in Japan. It's because they just built up such a better system. But I can't do it all on my own, you know. If I did have like a whole team together, be like, yeah, let's create the anime industry, but here. That would be awesome. How's the writing going for Reaper? It's going alright. I'm not really rewriting it that much, you know, because everything was already kind of drafted and written for Reaper for a while now. I'm rewriting the fight scenes mostly, but the overall story is the same. The way it ends is the same. The preview for the next book is the same, etc., etc. The fight scenes are changing a little bit, but that's not really much of a writing thing so much as it is an art thing, because I want the fight scenes to look better. And when I first drew the drafts for Reaper, I didn't really know what I was doing for the fight scenes, so we're giving it a makeover, so to say, and you'll see a little bit of a taste of that when the next preview comes out on Subscribestar. If you're not already subscribed to the Subscribestar, check out the description and join the fan club. All these years of doing YouTube, I'm still so bad at self-promoting. I'm getting better, I think. If I can start uploading more videos, I'm gonna it's gonna get much better on this channel, am I right? Okay. Is Dannphan Canadian? No, definitely not. No, I'm American. I wonder where that came from. Did I say something Canadian? Alright. You talking about those adventures in the DC Universe comics that tied in the regular DCU to the blah, 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 blah. No, they did for multiple years, really. DC had done like multiple animated series for their comics. Batman the animated series, Superman the animated series. I guess Marvel also had like X-Men the animated series and Spider-Man the animated series. Not as good as the DC ones, in my opinion, but they were good too. And they would constantly be making animated series for their comic series, rewriting and, you know, rebranding them as they did. But because they didn't really tie together with the comics very tightly, and the comics were going a different direction where they were trying to be aimed more towards adults, but all the animated series version of those comics were being aimed more towards kids, they weren't really cross-promoting each other that well. They were going two different directions. Manga is different. Manga takes an individual series with a clear-cut story and then just animates it. That's it. They just animate it, like, practically shot for shot. They just tell the same story in animated form. There's no confusion. There's no rebranding or redesigning or anything. They just try to tell the same story as the manga tells. And then people are like, man, I really liked that animated series. I better go buy like the manga or the comic that's tied to that series so that I can see what happens next. Because the manga series will always be ahead of the animated series. Animation takes a really long time. Comics take less time. So that's part of how they would cross-promote each other. Because people who read the manga will want to watch the series animated. People who watched the series animated will want to read the manga to see what happens next, to get fully updated on the story. It's much better, it's much more thought out than what America did with their animated series tying into their comics. And of course that's not true with every single comic that they did, or animated series that they did, but on a general scale, that's usually how it turned out. So yeah, there's a lot more, there's just more clear direction. They're both aiming towards the same audience because they're both written the same. The animated and comic form is just both the same. So you know exactly what you're getting into, you know what age it's directed at. Whereas comics, it's like all over the place. Some of them are for kids, some of them are teens, some of them are for adults. You know, you open up a Batman comic, is this a rape scene? Oh, I guess I can't give this to my kid who's a Batman fan. You know, it's a little bit all over the place. But, yeah. Invincible is fairly close to its comic. Yeah, Invincible is a little bit more in line with what manga does. Granted, you know, I'm not much of an Invincible fan, but yes, I agree. It's a little bit close to telling the comic story. I was just hired to write a novel. I used to be a journalist, and this is my first novel. So I also didn't know what I'm doing, but having fun doing it. I guess that's sometimes like how that turns out, huh? It is funny, being a journalist and having someone reach out to you and be like, hey, I like your writing, can you write a novel? It is very, like, different skills, but yeah, I guess they're technically writing. It's, like, vaguely connected, sure. Sadly, I don't know anything about actually printing the 3D models. Damn. I really need to know some people who know what I'm talking about. I didn't really think there would be that much difficulty with the 3D model of the castle that we had, but didn't turn out very well, the first few printings of them. I guess there's just, like, too much small pieces and too much overhang. Maybe the comic books needs a demographic classification. Yeah, some of them do. Some of them do have, like, little warnings on the beginning. But for the most part, unless there's something super grotesque in the comic, for the most part, it's just like they expect you to know that the comics are made for adults or made for an older audience. They just expect you to know that that's the case. Basically, you have to look for the super chibi, silly art to know that it's for kids. If, like, Batman is drawn like a silly Billy, then it's for kids. And if it's drawn seriously, then it's for adults. That's, like, the general rule of thumb when it comes to the actual comic classifications. How your book going? It's going pretty good. It's going pretty good. Have you tried printing the castle in pieces? Oof. That would take a while. There's a little... I don't know. I don't know if Adam would like that. But I understand where you're coming from when you ask that, though. It would kind of be better to, like, just snap the pieces on after printing them. We would have to print it bigger so that you could snap the pieces on. But, yeah. That would take a while, and I don't really know what I'm doing in Blender, so I would probably fuck something up. But I get what you're saying. It's not like this, right? It's not like this where there's obviously a bunch of overhang and a bunch of problems that would arise if you were to try to print this as one piece. That wouldn't actually work. But it's just like, it's a castle, and there's not a whole lot of overhang. We're just having difficulties with it because the model is just not that good, I guess. But it's not that intricate, you know? It's not like I'm printing a Liberty Prime or anything. Speaking of which, I was thinking this doesn't actually have anything to do with Fallout, but for one of the conventions, I don't know which one, we're still deciding on what conventions to go to this year. For one of the conventions, I was thinking, oh man, I should totally do a Freeman cosplay. And the staff, there's free STL files online for Freeman staff. So I can totally 3D print the staff and put it together, but you would have to print them all in pieces, and then, you know, it's a little bit of an arts and crafts hour. But that could make a fun video, right? Putting together Freeman's staff and then, like, fucking posing in the cosplay. I don't even have to feel like a slut while I'm doing it, because Freeman's costume is, like, very modest. That would be awesome. Freeman cosplay, let's go. And then I'll show up to one of the conventions in Freeman cosplay. I partially considered just making it from scratch, but I think the ones that they have online look fine. I think they look okay enough to buy anyways. So I might as well just like buy what they got online. But yeah, I fucking love Freeman, so let's fucking go. I gotta convince Adam to go as Himmel naturally, because we got a match. I think he likes Himmel's outfit much more than Stark's outfit too. Because I also considered, oh, maybe I should go as Fern, you can go as Stark, but I think Stark's outfit, it doesn't look as European as everybody else's outfit. Not that it looks Asian per se. Well, the vest part kind of looks a little bit Chinese, but I think Adam would probably prefer the hero Himmel's outfit as far as wearing it. Adam looks more like an Eisen than a Himmel. I could always get him a helmet. Oh no, he couldn't wear the helmet because that would get in the way of his glasses. Yeah. He doesn't have contacts or anything like I do. But yeah, Freeman and Himmel, that would be something. For, you know, it's also like a semi-dog whistle, so people know that we like killing demons. You know, people online are still arguing about whether or not the demons in that show are supposed to be evil. Yes, of course they're evil. It's like so in your face that the author is saying these demons are evil and irredeemable and you have to kill them all. It's so, like, so in your face. I don't know why people are still arguing about it. You know, partially, part of me thinks that sometimes people project a little bit when they watch something. Sorry about the dogs, if you can hear that. Sometimes people, like, see a demon as being judged, and it reminds them of a time when they were being judged for, like, doing something bad. And maybe that kind of triggers a defensiveness in them, where they're like, no, the demons aren't bad. Even when the show goes out of its way to be like, nope, no, they're bad. They are actually evil. They're actually very evil, and you gotta kill them all. Freeman goes out of her way to call them parasites that need to all be exterminated. So I think that's kind of a done deal, you know? There are such things in fantasy as just evil races, and demons were traditionally one of those races. Orcs were another one. They tried to say that orcs are not supposed to be evil all of a sudden, you know? I get that sometimes people want a little bit more nuance than that, but sometimes villains just are villains, you know? And sometimes there doesn't have to be a greater reason for it. If anything, I think it's actually more interesting than a lot of the modern fantasy writing where they're like, actually, they're not really evil, they just misunderstood. I think it's more interesting that they're evil and they can't help being evil because they're just genetically predispositioned to be that way. I think that is very interesting, genuinely. Because you've created a situation in Freerun where they cannot coexist, and they will always be at each other's throat to fight for their permanent existence. So it's nice. I enjoy it. People are allergic to certain species just being evil by nature these days. I guess so. I don't know. Like I said, sometimes people are just like projecting too much, where they think that it has to represent the real world, you know? It's the same thing with orcs. People are like, oh, orcs are actually supposed to be black people. It's like, nobody said that. Nobody said that until modern writing. It's not the same thing. It's also super offensive to say that in the first place. Because, like, nobody... Anyway, I love Frieren. I think that 4-episode arc of them killing the peace envoy of demons, peace, right? It wasn't very peaceful after all. But I really love that arc. That's why I wanted it from the manga. I specifically wanted to own that arc. I mean, like, all of Frieren is good, but that arc is the best, by far. I like the, well, without revealing too much, I like some of the later demon arcs as well. I really want more of it in the series. I think they are going to start stepping forward and adding in more demon enemies, because they hint at a bunch of the Demon Lord's followers still being alive and out there, out and about. And Frieren has made it quite clear to everybody. There's no debate. She has made it quite clear that she wants to exterminate them all. So if she comes across them, they be dead, you know? And I think that'll be really fun to see. Another fantastic element of Frieren is that they're looking for heaven and trying to discover, like, kind of the mystery behind life and death, which is something very unique to the series that I want to see explored more. Because I don't really often see that, especially in, like, fantasy manga. But I feel like it's, you know, different enough to stand out. Whether or not the writer actually has an answer for it is kind of unknown. I don't know if they actually know the end goal of their journey yet, because a lot of manga creators, you know, start something without really knowing how they want to end it. And that's to be expected. You know, sometimes mangaka, they don't know whether or not they're going to get a full series in the first place. But yeah, I really want to see where this writer goes, because they've delivered on quite a lot already. Whew. I can't even remember, like, the last time I was this excited about a manga series like Frieren. I guess if I am to look at, like, past manga on the shelves, I really like Spy X Family, of course. Delicious in Dungeon was a good one, but I do like Frieren better than all of those combined. Blue Exorcist, though, that's another one. They really dropped the ball in the anime, but now they're trying to do like a season 2 and 3 with Blue Exorcist, and they're not connecting them properly at all, but I guess that counts as doing like the rest of the Blue Exorcist. The manga for Blue Exorcist, I'll just get to my point. That's almost ending. They're on like the final arc, and I'm kind of curious what's going to be the conclusion from that, because Blue Exorcist is not one of those series like Frieren where they're like demons are evil, kill them all. Blue Exorcist is a little bit more like kind of half and half, where they're like, some demons are more likely to be evil, but not all of them are evil. You know, demons are born from, like, negative energy and all that stuff, but it's not really 100% all the time. And they were at one of the fight scenes on Blue Exorcist during this final arc. The main character, who's the son of Satan, just throwing that out there, he's fighting actual Satan. And at the end of the fight, he's like, I don't want to kill you, you're my dad, right? So let's just, you know, let's just be peaceful. And then Satan's like, fuck you. And then he just blows up the world. Okay, he doesn't literally blow up the world, but he, like, extends his body out to the rest of the earth to, like, take it over by force, right? And then his consciousness fades, and now they need to, like, figure out how to get Satan off the earth or whatever. I'm a little bit confused about the details, but basically it was like a little a break from the fight. Now they're gonna get back to the fight. Gotta figure out what exactly happen to Satan, track him down, and actually kill him for realsies this time. At least I hope that's what they're going for. I don't think, I mean, literally Satan. He's literally Satan. There's no nuance behind that. He is literally Satan. So I do hope that they're going towards, let's kill Satan and we can't make peace with him, rather than let's talk to him like a few more times and see if we can make peace with him. Because they really did build up Blue Exorcist so that Satan is such a bad guy, you know? For like the whole series, they built it up so that he was just awful, awful. And even though they make it kind of understandable, like Satan's philosophy kind of understandable, it just doesn't matter. He really is just too evil to live. You know what I mean? But it still has yet to end. And like I said, Blue Exorcist is not the same as Freerun. It's a little bit more wishy-washy with like morality in that regard. Whereas Freerun is a lot more straightforward. Demons are evil, exterminate them all. Which I appreciate, because I don't see that as often as I'd like to see that. But yeah. Keep in mind, demon from anime are often translated from oni, which are akin to demons superficially and close enough as translation, but in Japanese myth are more just mischievous. Yeah, but Blue Exorcist is Christian demons. Like Satan, you know? So, it's a little bit more so actual demon. I do understand that though, like, I think... No, Claymore, it was Yoma, right? Claymore, the demons were called a Yoma, so that's different. But, yeah. Freerun, you could argue maybe... Nah, Freerun... Even in Freerun, they kind of look more like similar to Christian demons, but they could be Oni. You could make that argument with them, but in Freerun they make it very clear that they're all just genetically evil. Anyway, we're actually at the end of the hour stream. Which is a shame, because I do love talking about this particular topic. You can tell, because I'm all fired up talking about how much I love Freerun. And talking about Blue Exorcist. I love Blue Exorcist as well. I did genuinely very much enjoy the series. Even though it's like, it's not 100% yay, kill all demons the way that I like it, but they kind of can't be yay, kill all demons, because the main character is literally the son of Satan. So they have to be a little bit more nuanced than that. But yes, I'm super excited about more Freerun. I would love to see the end of Blue Exorcist when that comes out. And you guys can also look forward to a brand new Kill All Demons series, Reaper. Let's not forget about Reaper. Hang on. Let me throw up the mailing list, maybe. Because we absolutely cannot forget about Reaper. Book 1, Cursed Castle. I should change out these images for more updated ones, more so like images that I've drawn recently. But these are fine, I guess. They're more so just previews. You can actually see the preview, a more full preview on burningstarcomics.net. It was part of the previews of 2024 on the website. If you wanted to check that out. It used to be on Manga Plus Creators. I took it off. So you have like a slightly more official preview on Burning Star. If you are interested in reading a little bit of a preview, if you want to see if this comic is more your speed, similar to Freerun, I do want to make the demons actually evil in this one. Deceptive, but ultimately evil. I like the classic way of doing things, and I'd like to make my own dark fantasy series the classic way. Not that any real demons show up in book 1, but they're kind of hinted at existing. Book 1 itself is more so about this very specific journey a very specific place with a curse. And he's kind of uncovering the soul that's trapped there, right? Very fun stuff. Obviously, some like Christian themes in there since we're talking souls and shit. Oh yeah, Dannphan calling it Reaper because it's gonna reap in the money. Oh god, I hope so. I really do need more of an audience to realize that I exist. That's what I need. And that's why I really want to try my best. Even though, like, I know I'm not going to be able to make as many videos as I used to make. Making videos like 4 or 5 times a week is just not in the cards for me right now. Especially while I still have like 42 pages to draw of this comic. But I'm more than halfway done. Yeah, the goal was like 100 pages, so I'm there. I'm getting there, at the very least. I also added a lot of pages in while I was drawing it, so that's kind of what happened. Vaguely, that's kind of what happened. And some things I'm redrawing from scratch, so it takes a little bit more time. But we're getting over that hump. We're gonna do that campaign. It's gonna be fucking fantastic. It's gonna be the best thing ever. I love it. Yeah, I'm so excited to get that out there. And like I was saying about Freeman, if you do love the demon killing stuff, this is a series for us, for people like us, my brother in Christ. I do think the Crusader helmet was a pretty funny addition into the background. I want to maybe swap out some of the art on the wall for some different stuff in the future and get more anime figures, of course. I do love the little anime figures that I got, though. Got Anya, and I got fucking from Angel Next Door Spoils Me Rotten up there at the top. I want to get Marcel and Freerun back there. It's gonna be nice. It's gonna be nice. You should draw a stream? I would love to draw a stream. If only my tablet didn't squeak like a bird that's dying. That would be fantastic. That's another thing I need to consider. If I need to buy a brand new fucking tablet because the Wacom tablet is not good. I mean, it's usable. It's just that I have to like blast music in my ears while using it so that I can't hear the squeaking. Do voiceovers, I will, yeah. You know what? That is something I need to get done for Reaper. I wanna like maybe hire a voice actor who could do Ichabod's lines and maybe do like a little voiceover trailer for the Reaper campaign. I think that would be nice. Maybe something similar for when The Way Long Back launches issue 1 and 2 on the website officially. I'll do like a little short comic dub of that too. I gotta pick a scene though. I've gotta pick a really good scene that would like do a really good introduction into the romance and stuff like that. Art request streams. It was affected by Squeak Curse. Yeah, it was. It was, yeah. They refused to fix it under the warranty. They refused. They said it wasn't damaged enough. So I just have to suffer while I draw. Or actually, it's not that they didn't. It's not that they said it wasn't damaged enough. They said that they just don't cover any damage on the screen whatsoever. And because the squeak is coming from damage on the screen, they won't fix it. Unless I pay them an extra $100 whatever dollars. And even though it came in damaged, it came in the mail damaged, it doesn't matter. They won't fix it because it's not covered under warranty. So don't buy from them, is my point. That's where I'm heading towards. But yes, well, Reaper coming March 1st. The Way Long Back coming February 14th. That's coming soon. That's gonna be fun. If you like romance, you're going to want to look out for the Way Long Back. If you like fantasy, please do consider Reaper. Sign up for the mailing list so that I know you're interested in it, and I can send you an email. I can send you directly an email when it launches so that you will know. Anyway, thank you so much for joining me this fantastic Friday. I had a lot of fun. Tonight. I gotta start working more on some Reaper. I've got laundry in the dryer that I need to take out. But yes, Dannphan and the Cursed Tablet, Book 1. Yep, that's gonna be the next one. That's the next comic I'm working on. Thanks, Love to Draw. Thank you everyone for hanging out tonight. I'll see you on the next Friday with Dannphan. Bye!